Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Our television broadcast sponsor is Larson Hay,
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
We have a great show lineup for you. We have top equestrian and horse behaviorist and author, and I could give her like 7 or 8 other titles. Probably the person I admire the most in the horse world, Linda Pirelli, is here with us live in the studio. We also have a really nice short little interview with the exercise rider of Florida-bred Ben Tornato, who won a Breeders' Cup race this weekend, and he was so excited to share how he felt being the person who gets on the horse every day. And trainer of Champion Beza, who I wanted to win the Breeders' Cup Classic, John Sheriffs, and I want to share this with you a little bit. One, Beza was trained here in Ocala by April Mayberry at Mayberry Farm. But John really shares the love of the horse and the connection with the horse in this interview. And I just think it's really important that people understand that about the racing world. So we are live on Facebook. We're also on Equus Television several times a day on all smart TV networks and on the free app on your phone. We're also on the Sky on Saturday morning, 97.3. We're also on Odyssey, Pandora, SoundCloud, iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, and all the other places. But before we go to Dr. Chaos, I got to give you a prezi. It's late for your birthday, but you got to have this prezi because this came from our dear friend Tricia Cybersma.
Oh.
And she sent it, but you were away last week. So I just want you to have your socks that were painted by a horse.
Wow.
From Heartworks. Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
Aren't they nice? Thank you, Tricia. He
Thank
loves
you.
them. Switching it up now to Dr. Adam Chaos. He's talking OCDs. Here he is. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and for our Chambers Equine Initiative here at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And Dr. Chaos and I chose air conditioning today for our backdrop.
Yep.
Smart move, Dr. Chaos. That was
Absolutely.
actually his idea. He's the smarter one. You know, he's the one with the title doctor.
Been out here, been working out in the heat all day long. I don't need
There's
to do it
enough,
anymore.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Gotcha. So let's talk about OCD and not the type of OCD that I have.
Yeah, right.
We're going to talk about equine OCD.
So osteochondral dissecans, it's a abnormality found in bone development, where the cartilage in bone doesn't form properly. So the calcified part of the bone is not made properly. So you have this spongy area of bone, and it's more cartilaginous than bony. You know, typically it's seen in, you notice it in younger horses. It's a developmental disease, not necessarily an athletic injury kind of problem. So it's a developmental disease.
Are there signs that make it evident at that younger age?
Well, sometimes there can be signs. Sometimes you can have joint effusion that, wouldn't normally be there. So swelling in the joint, extra fluid in the joint, that can be an indicator. Another common thing that you see is an unexplained lameness that doesn't really go away in a younger horse. That can be one of the first things that you think about.
Is there kind of an age bracket that it tends to be noticed in?
You're probably going to notice it around a year or so when they start training, because that sometimes when the stressing of training hits them, then the clinical manifestation of the lameness, you can see it at that point.
Okay.
Sometimes other horses before that are lame, but they might not be until they're asked to do more. That's kind of your signal. There certainly seems to be a genetic component to it. It's typically seen in the horses that tend to grow really fast. Bigger horses, fast-growing horses, you tend to see it more in. You certainly see it in common areas, hocks, stifles, sometimes in the ankles, but most commonly in the hocks and stifles is where you see it. Generally, it's not necessarily a really bad thing to have. I mean, it's generally pretty easily managed with surgical intervention. We've gotten really good at taking care of that stuff now. And once you...
And you diagnose it by...
The diagnosis is via x-ray.
Okay.
Yep.
So x-ray will clearly show that's what the problem is.
X-ray will definitely show the issue. So you can have two types where you have like fragments that have come off the edge of the bone, or you have a cyst. We call a cyst, where the bone hasn't developed and you basically have this spongy hole in the bone. And those are diagnosed radiographically as well. The ones that have basically come off the edge of the joint, that have flaked off there, it's pretty easy. You just go in, you take the flakes out, you curettage the area where the defect is, and then let the body do its magic and heal itself, of course, along with some medications. We generally put them on equine or something like that. The other ones that tend to be a little bit more tricky are the cysts, and those are typically found in your stifles or your fetlocks. And sometimes horses will have a cyst and it won't manifest clinically at all. They won't have any lameness. Other times there's a cyst there and it is actually causing lameness. We don't know exactly why. Sometimes they cause a lameness and sometimes they don't. Certainly there's a component of how much of the cyst is communicating with the joint, meaning, so you have the edge of the bone. If the cyst is right on the edge of the bone as opposed to in the middle of the bone, for lack of a better description, then the one that's closer to the joint itself or the edge of the bone tends to be more clinically significant, meaning those are the ones that you tend to see the lameness in. Whereas you might have, it looks like a bullet hole right through a bone, and that horse a lot of times won't be lame at all. And interestingly enough, we don't see those types of bones, even though they haven't fully developed, they don't seem to be more apt to fracture or anything like that. It's kind of interesting, which you would think, well, it's got this hole and, it hasn't fully developed, what's going on there. But it doesn't seem to correlate one way or the other. The cysts, they typically can inject them with steroid, surgically inject them with steroid. Sometimes they'll run screws through them, put screws through them to stimulate bone formation, and that's the idea. Generally, it's, like I said, it tends to be in the big, growthier horses, and certainly seen more often if you're trying to push the horse to grow faster and that sort of thing.
Trying to kind of accelerate the process.
Exactly. You want to try to be careful with how much you're feeding them and how much you're pushing them as their growth rate when they're youngsters. So that's when we tend to see it, and you don't want them necessarily growing super fast because, like I said, we tend to see it more in those horses that have done that.
So assuming a successful surgery is a long recovery period?
Several months. It's not long, but
So really,
reasonable.
If you hurry things up and you over-accelerate the process, you actually might just set yourself back months.
That's the way it is with everything, right? Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't rush it.
Don't rush it. Exactly, which is hard in the business that we're in. But sometimes
indeed.
Time doesn't fit nice, and they don't fit inside the nice box of sales times or futurities or
read the book.
Whatever.
Makes sense.
Unfortunately, that's the way it works out sometimes.
Thank you, Dr. Adam Kayott, here at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Dr. Adam Kayott talking about OCDs. We have been talking about all sorts of British things here in the studio, haven't we?
Crazy English.
I know. We've been talking about the house I grew up.
Burning some guy.
Oh, it's Guy Fawkes Day tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
November the 5th is, and if you're listening on Saturday morning, of course you missed it, but November the 5th
some kind of poppy on me or something?
Yes, because you have to wear a poppy until Veterans Day, the whole last week of October and the first couple weeks of November for our veterans.
Okay.
That's Flanders Fields, the poppies, That's another whole English story
I
for
don't
another
know. Sorry.
Ooh, that was quite good.
Thank you.
We've got to go to break. We're coming back with Linda Pirelli. Stay with us on the Horse Talk Show. The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson-Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine, with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Center in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now.
Love presents itself in so many ways. It can be difficult to describe the bond between human and horse because it really transcends words. As we prepare for each ride, the most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
Faulty wiring is the leading cause of barn fires, and equine facilities have special electrical needs. The knowledgeable and licensed team of electricians at Pat Myers Electric will ensure you can achieve your vision for a safe and functional horse facility. For new builds, rewires, and updating, Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe. With a farm of our own, we know you cannot take chances. For all your current barn needs, go to patmyerselectric.com.
Ocala Dog Ranch offers a variety of services for your dog, including agility training, barn hunt training, board and train, boarding long and short term, daycare, day training, dock diving training and competitions, disc dog, swimming lessons and pool rentals, lure coursing and obedience training classes. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch at ocaladogranch.com. Ocala Dog Ranch is your home away from home for your dog and more. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson-Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, they're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we have one of my favourite people in the whole world in the studio, and that's Linda Pirelli.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Well, you really
Too
are.
kind. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for being with us. It's lovely to see you, lovely to have you back in here with us again. We're always excited to talk to you, aren't we?
Yes, ma'am.
Especially Pete. So let's talk a little bit, first of all, about, I want to mention, and we'll mention this in the second segment as well, because I want to make sure everybody knows you have a clinic coming up.
Yes.
Which is always exciting.
Yes. It's the first one I'm doing in this area, which is crazy because, you know, I've been here 5 years now. And I thought I need to do something where people can come and experience my program and see, because it's a brand new program. And they need to see how it starts and then how it advances. And so I want to do two groups. There's a group in the morning that is pretty new to everything, and then the group in the afternoon that has already been working on my program. So you can see how it advances and where you can go with it.
That's nice.
Like two clinics in one.
I was going to say that's nice because you're going to put the people who are in the same kind of level of experience and knowledge together where they don't feel left behind.
Yeah.
And then the people who've advanced on further together because they're
Exactly.
They're fairly
need to do
equal
more.
in their abilities and knowledge. So
And
that's
it's really good for the advanced group to watch the basic group because they'll go, oh, could do that a little bit better. You know, you can always do your foundation better. And then for the people who are just starting it to get that vision of how quickly you can make progress, I think is going to be really exciting.
So that's coming up in just
Yes, 14th to 16th November.
lovely. So less than a couple of weeks away.
I know.
And I love that, the breaking up the groups like that. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then to your left of you,
Yes.
you have some books.
That's like show and tell. So
How to talk horse.
How to talk horse. That's what I teach people to do. And that applies to every kind of discipline because if there's a horse, it doesn't matter what you do with it, you need to be able to talk its language. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But I created a 10-module program. So it starts with connection, relaxation, responsiveness. Pay attention, there's a test later. Confidence, impulsion, bending, There's more. Oh,
Power.
nope.
Oh,
Got it back to front. Okay. Harmony,
harmony. Nice.
agility,
Agility.
purpose, and then power.
And power.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it all relates to what, like when people say, or when I ask, what is a happy horse? People are like, I don't know, it likes it when I feed it or if I'm nice to it, and you know. But a happy horse is this. It's one that's connected, relaxed, responsive, confident, has impulsion, bending, and harmony with you. And then once you've got that, you can do anything. But a lot of people are trying to do things and the horse isn't connected, the horse doesn't bend, it's stiff as a board, the horse is not relaxed, and we're kind of managing tension instead of actually fixing it. So these are all the keys. And we start with problems. So we say, in fact, that's the graphic I think that's up right now, that I ask everybody to tell me the problems that they have with their horses.
What does a
And
horse
then,
look like when the
we
biomechanics
go
are
through
back?
it and go, what's the root of that problem? And when you fix it at the root, it is fixed. So people come with problems that they've had for years and years and years. Some of them are niggly, frustrating problems, and others are, you know, pretty serious problems. And so I then give them a test and say, okay, where do you think the root of this is? And it's a fun little exercise, and then people go, wow, I really didn't realize I didn't know the root. And that's why it was never fixed. So I can confidently say that in the first session, by lunchtime, your problems are over, because most of the problems are in those first three areas. Horse is not connected, not relaxed, and not really responsive. And when we fix that, by lunchtime, we can get on with everything else.
Isn't that great?
Easy.
That is. And you know, it's remarkable. This is a great time that this topic is coming up, because later on in the show, I have an interview with a gentleman. Actually, I couldn't believe his age. I'm not even going to say it. I was shocked. He seemed a lot younger. But he's been training thoroughbreds at the racetrack for years and years. And the horses that have done the best in his barn, interestingly enough, are the ones started by April Mayberry here at Mayberry Farm. And I can almost always tell a horse started by her, because all of those things
Nice.
are in place. And we really emphasize the foundation, like where did that racehorse or any horse get its first experience and its first start, and how much different it is when it gets to its track career based on.
Yeah, because they never forget. And if they have a good start, they're way ahead. But most horses, that's why Pete and I have a job. You know, most horses aren't that lucky. And then here's the big thing also, is that when we get a horse, you know, we just think, oh, I want a pony, it's been my dream, I want a horse, and then I see myself riding on the beach, you know, with my hair blowing in the wind. But in the end, you know, you're on a horse and hauling back on the reins, screaming, whoa, and galloping into the sunset out of control. And so instead of just being a rider, because it's like, I want my pony to be my friend, and I want to learn how to ride it and do all these things, nobody told us that we have to be a friend, a protector, a leader, and a trainer or teacher. We have to be those things, or we're going to have problems with our horses.
So true. And that's really the basis of what you're teaching and what your
Yes, it
clinics
is.
are for, is to help people get to that point.
Exactly, like to empower them. And, you know, they still need sport-specific trainers, you know, or people who can help them get over problems quicker with their horses. You can do a lot of it by yourself, but then these are the kinds of things that just make you and your horse, well, makes your horse a good citizen, if you want to put it that way, where, you know, the horse is not difficult to handle. Even if it used to be difficult or is a complicated kind of character, once you do this, everything changes, and suddenly you've got a horse that is with you and is in harmony and wants to converse with you. And people will say, gosh, that's a really nice horse. How's he bred? So they would say that to me, and I'm like, this is not the breeding, but I stopped trying to explain it. So I just say, he's from the happy line.
That's a good pedigree. I hear that's a great pedigree.
Yes.
Right.
Happy horse, happy
Yes.
life. I mean, it doesn't fit much better than that, does it? Isn't that true?
That's it.
But do you find that the advanced riders never learned the basics? They never went to elementary school or high school. They just went right into college thought patterns.
A lot of people, and especially if they're talented or confident, you can get away with a lot, but you don't. You know, a lot of the time we get to blame the horses, like, oh, he's crazy, he's lazy, he's unpredictable, or he's really naughty. But you're either bringing that out in the horse, or you're bringing out the sweet side and the collaborative side. And many years ago, I just rode every wild thing, and I thought I was a good rider.
I was about to say that about me.
Yeah. And I thought I was a pretty good rider because I could stay on anything. But now I look at it and go, if my horse is having trouble, that's my fault. How can I, because he's not happy. A horse that is stressed and anxious and, spooky is not a happy horse. And so how can we, get the horse to go, oh, can't wait for us to ride tomorrow, instead of like, oh God, not again, another horror movie,
I know, I wish I had known what I know now when I was a kid, because I would probably have had a lot less concussions and probably would have gone over a lot less jumps by myself, if I had just and I mean, I was a kid. Our instructors would just get on and sort it out. I mean, that was it. Get on and sort it out.
One of my favorite sayings that you used to say was, if you woke up in the morning and you had to chase your husband to hold your hand or to do something, you'd know there was a problem. Same thing with your horse.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you might just not have a husband. And
I dropped my puppy.
There's always that. You dropped your puppy. So one more quick mention in this segment for the clinic, because I want to make sure everybody knows that's coming up. And then we're going to go to break, and then we're going to come back for another segment. We've got some other things to talk about. So November 14th to 16th.
14th to 16th, it's 3 days. I mean, obviously, if you're riding, you need to come for 3 days.
Right.
We recommend 3 days if you're watching, because it's a great learning experience. And it's a kind of a little bit of a VIP treatment, because we're going to supply you lunch, and we'll have a little wind down on one of the nights, and have a good time.
Have a good time. Stay with us. We're coming right back with Linda Pirelli. At Larson Hay, your hay is weighed, so you know you're getting what you pay for. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
We're a unique, tough breed. We work long, hard hours making sure your horses are healthy and properly shod because, well, we farriers know horses perform better when they're properly shod and healthy. You want quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices, and you won't settle for anything less.
TT Distributors is dedicated to quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices. Racehorse or a pasture pony, TT Distributors has what you need. 7715 West Highway 40, Ocala.
Equine Therapy International offers state-of-the-art equipment to enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength, and rehabilitation with hand-picked and proven range of products, including PEMF and massage therapy rugs, leg wraps, boots, pads, and lasers, equine water treadmills, cold salt water spas, combi floors, dry treadmills, solariums, nebulizers, and more. For more information, go to equinetherapyint.com or find them on social media. Repair, perform, and recover with Equine Therapy International. Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Center in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hey, this is Buck Brannaman. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we have superstar Linda Pirelli here in the studio with us, which is pretty awesome. And I'm already coveting her shirt, because, by the way, she has a shirt line.
Every time I come in a shirt, you're like, oh, I want that one. That's why you're wearing that one.
Yes, exactly. Because she has an amazing shirt line, and her shirts are absolutely gorgeous, all of them. I haven't seen one I don't like, but I think that might be my favorite so
Be your
far.
favorite.
It might be. It's just, it's just all different styles of...
So you're going to have a new style that goes with this new book that you have out?
Yeah, I love this book.
I think that some of the illustrations should be on a shirt.
Well, there you go, except a lot of the illustrations are sad.
Oh.
And then they're happy ones later on.
So tell us about the new book.
Well, it's a little bit of a story because my business partner said, have you ever thought about writing a book? And I said, well, I write curriculum, I'm kind of teacher mentality. And he said, I really think you need a book like Jonathan Livingston Seagull, something like that, which has a message, a strong message to it. And I'm like, I can't write fiction. I don't, anyway. So I thought about it. And then I went, you know what? I could write about a horse's experience and what a horse goes through, and kind of from the dark into the light. And it's a great metaphor also for people, because what the horse goes through, a lot of people go through. And so if you read the dedication, you'll see that in there I talk about this is made for this is especially dedicated to somebody who has felt powerless and doesn't have a voice. And it's not so much about self-empowerment, it's about the people around you that can help you come back to who you are, or to be even better than you are. So it's a little story. It's a bit of a tear-jerker, I will say. And then, of course, the end result.
And I'm a crier, so...
Well, then have your little box of tissues, because there's a spot there. Even when I read it back, I read it to my friend, and I cried and I wrote it.
And you wrote
and
it.
I cried in that part. Because I identified with it, myself.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
The Little Horse That Couldn't by Linda Pirelli. And illustrations, shout out for Kylie Mabe, who freelances for the Horse Talk Show and who is probably one of the most brilliant, intelligent, amazing people. She is more than talented. She is techie. She teaches herself things that are really hard.
Thank goodness she's not in the studio to hear it.
I know, right?
Looking over there.
Well, if she wasn't, she'd be listening at home because she'd never miss the show.
Right.
But she's also an incredible artist.
And I'm so glad I called you, because I was looking for an illustrator and I thought, how am I just going to shop the World Wide Web, and find somebody? And you went, I know somebody.
I know somebody.
And you introduced
that can
me to her.
This.
So
yeah, Kylie Mabe. Illustrations by Kylie Mabe. You go, Kylie.
That's right.
She is not just a pretty face. She has got
artiste.
loads of talent.
Now, I haven't read it, but I've looked through the pictures. And what I'm getting from horsemanship-wise, it seems like as the horse progresses, more and more of the horse comes out.
Yes, because everything gets really suppressed in the way she's treated. And you'll see in the book, a lot of people aren't trying to be mean to the horse. Well, there are some, but most people in the book are not trying to be mean to the horse. They just don't understand how the horse feels, when they're approached in a certain way, or certain feelings are neglected. And that's one of my big things. I talk about having conversations with horses, which is why, my thing's called How to Talk Horse, because a lot of people try to teach horses English. Walk, trot, canter, whoa, stop it, stand out, quit. And horses don't understand that. And in fact, I was at a symposium many, many years ago in France, and they had a lot of, pretty important people there. We were talking about ethology with horses. And there was a lady there from England, and she said that horses can learn the English language. And she said, I've proven that a horse can learn up to 120 words. And I said, but that's not a conversation. That's now demands and commands. And a conversation is when you ask a question and you listen to the response. So if I ask a question of the horse, would you do this? The horse is either going to say yes or no. And if it says yes, we're hunky-dory. But if it says no, then you have to go, all right, is it saying no because it can't or because it won't? And the way you respond on that is very different, and it will make or break your results. Because a lot of people think when a horse says no, it's just an obedience problem. But 9 times out of 10, it's confusion, because we're not talking horse. And the way horses communicate, or how to talk horse, is they do it with energy and gestures. People do it with their mouth. And we're absolutely unconscious of what our body language is saying, or how we're positioning energy,
So true.
Yeah, so that's what I teach, you know. And it's not totally explained in that book, it's explained in all of this. But that's where a lot of horse-human relationships really have trouble, is because we don't talk horse.
So
we don't
true.
know, like if we didn't speak the same language, we'd be sitting there going, no.
Nice shirt. What?
Yeah.
No, that is so true. And I think often about what's even in my head, like what's in my thoughts when I'm going out to my horse. And I try so hard to clear my head completely of all the other things I should be doing and know I need to get done and where should I be and where am I going next, and try to completely clear my head and only think about going out to see him. Because you'd be surprised how different your energy is when you're too busy, too distracted, not focused, and he knows the difference.
Yeah. And even worse is we're different in different situations. Like, for instance, people can go, oh, you know, I've practiced trailer loading my horse, he's doing great. And then on the morning of the show, the horse won't get on. And they're like, I don't understand why. And it's like, because you're crazy. Like, when you're practicing, everything's great. And now it's like, we got to get to the show. And the horse goes, what is wrong with you? You know? And then they don't trust. So do you remember that book and the movie with Sally Field that was called Sybil? And it was the multiple personality.
Yeah.
So I tell people that most horses are owned by Sybil. Because we're different everywhere. We're different when we feed them, when we catch them, when we lead them, when we are in the barn, when we're clipping them, when we're at the farrier, when we're on the trailer, when we're going to a show, when we're on a trail, when we're in the arena. We're different. And we are the one thing that a horse should be able to rely on being the same.
That's right.
Like, for instance, the other day, somebody said to me, you know, why does my horse spook? And I said, because it doesn't see you as a protector. And they were like, what? I said, that horse is spooking because it has to look out for itself. And you have to show him that I got this, we got this. And so a lot of what I teach now is really leadership and communication.
That's good. We have some goodies for you.
That's the real reason I come here.
I don't know whether or not you've tried K-Well USA products, and actually I have dog shampoo for you at home, but I forgot to bring it, so. But I will get it to you, don't worry. I can swap it for a shirt. You will love, because I know you love all natural.
I do.
I know you do, and I'm going to tell you their spray for wounds is off the charts. Their Red Repel for summer sores and repelling flies is amazing. This is their all-natural Matico skin spray. They have the best products, and it's all in here for you to try.
Food grade. Awesome.
Yes, amazing products. There's a little Red Repel sample in there too for you.
Oh, all of this is mine.
Yes,
I thought
all
it was
of
just
that
this.
is yours.
Thank
and
you
your
so
Horse
much.
Talk Show brush.
Add to my collection.
Yes.
Thank
you.
you
Can always
very
share
much.
those and give Lewis one if you want. And then there's a discount for an equine massage or a person massage for you there. And then you've got a piranha bag
Can I
of
come back
goodies
next
here.
week?
Yes, of course, every week. Are you kidding? And I've got lots of
Thank
goodies,
you.
nice sample size goodies for piranha in here too.
Piranha's
you know, and I know
fantastic.
it's the best. It's the best. You got to have it. So
Very
thank you.
cool.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You got loads of goodies. Got to stock
I
you up.
do.
But I know you will absolutely. If you haven't tried the K-Well
Yes.
USA
I'm
products,
looking forward to
you will
that.
love them. All natural. And one more shout out for the clinic.
Come join us. Don't miss out. I don't know how many of these I'm going to do. I'm getting old. I might retire.
You don't look it. We don't believe you.
35 is not old.
No, it's not. Happy Horse Clinic, and please follow Linda. Happy Horse, Happy Life.
Yes, happyhorsehappylife.com, or you can even go lindapirelli.com if you can't remember Happy Horse Happy Life. And you can find the shop, and everything's on there, plus the clinic tickets.
Plus you can get shirts. And they're the best.
That's
And
right.
you and I will be doing something in March.
Yes, at the Horseman's Symposium. What's it being called?
Expo. I
Expo.
So, yeah, good
Yeah,
stuff.
very cool.
Check out Linda.
forward to
I'm
that.
hoping she'll stay for the rest of the show. So, but we'll be back after this. We have John Sheriffs at the Breeders' Cup World Championships. Stay with us.
Faulty wiring is the leading cause of barn fires, and equine facilities have special electrical needs. The knowledgeable and licensed team of electricians at Pat Myers Electric will ensure you can achieve your vision for a safe and functional horse facility. For new builds, rewires, and updating, Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe. With a farm of our own, we know you cannot take chances. For all your current barn needs, go to patmyerselectric.com.
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. It's time to fight back against summer sores with K-Well's Red Repel, healing and soothing, a lava-slaying ointment of justice, powered by zinc and nature's sass. Safe for all horses, even drama queens, gentle enough for the face. Your horse deserves skincare too, long-lasting and non-toxic. A bonus, buy a copper curry brush or Red Repel and receive a free in-store K-Well sample of your choice in Ocala at Seminole Feed Stores, TD Distributors and OBS. Discover more at kwellusa.com. K-Well, strength by nature.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. She's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
I'm Tick Maynard, and you're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Equus Television Network. We are here at the Breeders' Cup World Championships on very exciting Future Stars Friday, with Saturday coming right up with lots more great races for the older horses. And I am here on the back side of the track visiting with John Sheriffs, and we're very excited about Beza in the Classic, and Saturday will certainly be a great day. You're having sort of a bit of a day off. You had one race today, came second. Very good, John.
Yeah, very good. Westwood ran second in their first race today.
Nice.
And now we're just waiting till Saturday.
So got to do a little shout out for our friend April Mayberry of Mayberry Farm.
Mm-hmm.
Has very successful grads that come out of Mayberry Farm that seem to do very well.
Well, yes, she has. Well, let's see. We can name two right off, right?
We could pop straight. I was going to say Zenyatta.
Flightline.
That's right. Yeah.
Two
big deal horses.
Yeah, right. No,
yeah, incredible.
No, April and Kim and their whole crew do a tremendous job down there.
The number of times I've been in their barn, always find her scratching horses, loving on horses, giving them carrots, and letting them be horses. And I think that's such an important part of the foundation when they feel like relationship with humans is good, is positive, right?
Yeah, it's very good. It likes that interaction and that confidence a horse would have with a human. And in April it takes time to put them out in the paddock every day so they get some sunshine, they get to run around a little bit. And so it's it's a quiet facility, so it's very, very nice in there.
It's a nice start for a horse. I think that's so important. And then they come to you and you get a great horse already, which really helps you with your continued success and that whole process into getting them obviously into these best races in the world.
April's horses always come in with a lot of confidence. When they get to the racetrack, they're not afraid of horses going by them or coming at them. So that's a big help for somebody like me on the racetrack, because it's so busy on the racetrack, and it's it takes so much time to teach them not to be nervous or afraid of a horse going by or coming towards them. So that is a very big help.
That's a big help indeed. So Beza's had an incredible career, and in a year that we have seen probably some of the most exceptional 3-year-olds that we've seen. I think I was talking to George Isaacs from Bridlewood Farm a month or so ago, and we were talking about Sovereignty and Journalism, who both started in their training program. And wow, like Beza running third to those two this year has been nothing to be ashamed of, because they're tough.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I trained at Santa Anita where journalism was training, right? So I got to see journalism in a couple of races, and I always thought, wow, this horse, he runs his race every time he goes out there. and when he comes back from running and goes back to the track, he looks just the same as he did before he ran. So I was really impressed with journalism, and then went to the Kentucky Derby, and who's that? Oh, well, that's Sovereignty. I said, oh my goodness. No wonder they're all talking about him, because how impressive was he? And then I got to see him after the Belmont when he was in test barn. I said, wow, this horse looks like an oak table. I mean,
I know, right?
His legs are like
I
this.
know.
He's solid, right? You're not going to knock that horse over.
No, he's tough.
So, two fabulous horses.
Yes, indeed. So Beza's really shown himself to be, well, in the top few in the country for sure, and perhaps the world. How do you see him? I mean, he's sort of in his backyard here, comfortable, settled, and how has he been on the track? And do you feel happy with everything you see?
Yeah, no, we're very fortunate to have trained here this summer with Baeza, so he's very, very familiar with everything. And Del Mar is such a great spot, right? You can't beat this. So Del Mar's got that little vibe going on. It's really, really fun to be here. And so horses always sense those things about people.
Yes, they do.
For horses, maybe we're just little energy balls walking around, and this one's bright, this one's negative, right? Whatever's going on.
He knows.
So
spot on. You're talking to horse people who get that.
So that's really nice.
Yeah, it is. That's wonderful. So, Sovereignty, that was a big change, right?
That was a little bit of a gut shot for everybody.
Yeah, it was. Because it would have been nice for Beza to beat him, right?
That's what I'm, being the glass is half full all the time.
That's right.
I'm thinking, we were in the Jim Dandy, he beat us by a length and a half. Baeza had the one hole, so he had no chance to relax in the race. He didn't get a break. He didn't get a chance to relax at all. He had to attend the pace all the way. And then and I was talking to Junior Alvarado after the race. And Junior said, going into the turn, all the jockeys took off. He said, I don't know why they left too soon. So he said, I just waited with the Sovereignty, right? Let them go.
Let them do that thing, yeah.
And he came rolling around and won the race. And I was thinking, well, Hector couldn't do that with Baeza, or Pratt couldn't do that because he couldn't drop back.
Right.
If he were to drop back and take a little break, he'd have been swallowed and got all dirt in his face. So, I was thinking, well, we weren't that far. Maybe.
So what do you think about how the race is set up now, and how Sovereignty not running, how that's going to affect everything?
Well, it's difficult to say because this is a loaded Breeders' Cup Classic.
Sure is. Sierra Leone, Fierceness.
Yeah, right. So, and don't forget Chad's other horse, right?
Yeah.
Equestrian, right? What a nice horse he is. And so, we know Chad has the one horse that hopefully going to set a wicked pace, right? Wicked.
Wicked pace.
108, please give us a 108. Well, anyway, so but then there's Fierceness on the inside, and I know he wants to get out of the gate well because of what happened. So so I'm sure Johnny's going to think, well, let's clear the gap and then we'll see what happens, right? So I think they're, it's just a race you can't predict because it's on paper, it's not predictable. You can't say, well, this horse is going to do that. We know this horse is going to do that because there are a couple of horses in there that could show speed or could stalk, whatever.
Be interesting, won't it?
Oh, yeah.
It'll be exciting either way, right?
Very exciting, yeah.
Good. All right. Well, anything else you'd like to share with us about Baeza or the race or just this weekend?
Well, I don't know if there's much to share because you're here and you know how it is for the people that don't have an opportunity to come to the Breeders' Cup. They should try sometime. Come out and see the horses. The horses are so magnificent, it's hard to say. And here I stand at the track and I watch them go by. Well, that's a good looking. Oh, there's another good. Oh, wow, that's a really good looking horse, right?
I do that.
Right.
I'm like, Betsy, did you see that one? Did you see the dapples? Did you see the butt on that one? That had a nice butt.
Right.
I do that.
Yeah.
I want one of each. It's a problem. One day.
Yeah. So, and also, I think that one thing I always try to tell people. You really have to appreciate the thoroughbred horse.
You do.
The thoroughbred horse is a very, very special animal. how long have they been? From the 1600s, the thoroughbred horse has been bred for one thing in particular, to race, right? And with that racing has come really a highly intelligent animal that really relates to people, that is aware of the people around them and communicates very well. So I think that just seeing, I don't want to say, a cold-blooded horse isn't exciting, but see a racehorse, a thoroughbred, that's like over the moon.
They're incredible, aren't they? I think they're an amazing breed.
Right? It is, and it's especially exciting for somebody that works with the horses, is that you've done something with the horse, and you walk away over the other side of the barn or across the yard or something, and you see that horse watching you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's still connected with you, right?
Yeah.
So you've really made an impression with that horse that
That's right.
stays connected that long.
That's
So
right.
I mean, those are the really fun things.
It is.
I mean, grooms take care of the same horse for years at times, and they're so dedicated to their horses. Every morning they come out to those same 4 horses, right? They're their pals. When they come down the shed row, the horse, it's his feeding time, the horse will start nickering, goes, oh, that's the person that's going to feed me. That's my
right.
groom, right?
That's right.
Great.
Thank you so much for sharing Beza with us. Thank you so much for sharing the hopes and the story, and we certainly hope to see you in the winner's circle.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that would be just over the top. Right?
Thank you.
Okay.
John Sheriffs, very excited, looking forward to the Breeders' Cup Classic with Beza, who started with April Mayberry and Mayberry Farm Team in Ocala. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Equus Television Network.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
We're a unique, tough breed. We work long, hard hours making sure your horses are healthy and properly shod because, well, we farriers know horses perform better when they're properly shod and healthy. You want quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices, and you won't settle for anything less.
TT Distributors is dedicated to quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices. Racehorse or a pasture pony, TT Distributors has what you need. 7715 West Highway 40, Ocala.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars. And we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.
Love presents itself in so many ways. It can be difficult to describe the bond between human and horse because it really transcends words. As we prepare for each ride, the most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
This is Charlotte Cannon, and you are listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet.
Your hometown Chevy experience.
Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we were at the Breeders' Cup World Championships this weekend. And that is 14 races, 34 million in purses, top horses from all around the world. And it was very exciting because the barn of Jose D'Angelo had 2 wins back-to-back. One with She's So Spicy, who trained in Ocala, and one that is a Florida bred. And those 2 races, back-to-back winners, side-by-side stalls. And Bentonato, who was a Florida bred's exercise rider, was right there, Jose Rivera, and he has the coolest story he wants to share with you about how excited he was with the win and being their everyday rider of that horse, which is so important. Here's Jose. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Equus Television Network here on the backside in the barns at the Breeders' Cup World Championships. A very exciting 2 days of racing. We're on Championships Day today. It's been an especially exciting weekend for the team right here because She's So Spicy and Florida-bred Bentonato have both been winners today. So it's a extra thrilling day for your team, right? And Jose Rivera? And you are the exercise rider of Bentonato.
Yes.
That makes this very, very special for you because you are the person who rides the horse every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ride the horse every day. This is my baby. I call him like my little dinosaur. Because
little dinosaur.
Yeah, little dinosaur.
I love that.
Because he's so big, like a dinosaur.
Yes. How does it feel to ride him? He's very strong. He's had an amazing career so far in the Breeders' Cup last year and then winning this year. And we're always extra excited for Florida breds. But tell us about riding him every day, how you feel.
I feel awesome with him. That's the first thing. But he's a tough horse. He's a tough horse, but he's so smart. He knows do everything perfect. When he go to the track, he go focus in his work. But he's a little bit strong. That's the only thing.
He's strong.
Yeah,
but that helps him to be a winner, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you have a very important role with him because you are the person who is getting him ready for what is really the biggest deal to win at the Breeders' Cup. So your job is so important.
Oh yeah. I just try to do everything perfect, because he's tough and I don't want like he run off. That's the best thing. He cannot run off every day.
That's right. Even when he wants to, right?
Oh, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your background. I heard a little bit your love for horses up at 3 a.m. every day. This is like in your blood.
Yeah,
you love this, right? You're from Puerto Rico, is that right?
I'm from Puerto Rico. I used to be a rider. I do that for 10 years. And then I have to quit for the weight, but I keep in the business, galloping the horses in the morning and everything because it's like I say, that's my life. Horses is my life.
And this is your boy.
Oh, this is my little dinosaur.
Your little dinosaur. I just want to say, and Betsy mentioned earlier, how you guys look so good. You look the part, all of you, so professional.
Thank you.
And I think that's so fitting and appropriate. So exciting for you to have She's So Spicy win and then Bentonato. Yeah. It has to be a great day.
Oh, it is, definitely. It's an awesome day. I'm so excited. I can't believe that's happened right now. I'm touching me like, that's real. I don't know if that's
yourself,
real. Yeah, but
that's so great. And first Breeders' Cup wins for your stable.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Well done.
Thank you.
You are such an important part of everything that makes this happen because without that great foundation for that horse every single day, he can't be a winner. And what we believe is that the love and care and the passion that goes in matters. The energy in your barn matters, and you have it.
Yeah. We work every day. Our team is like a family, We work 7 days together, we help us, together, and I don't feel this is like my job. I feel this is my family.
This is your family.
Yeah, it is.
This is your home.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful.
We just try to wake up happy every day with good vibes and do what we love.
That's wonderful. Jose, I just want to say congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you.
And your little dinosaur.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Thank you.
Louisa here with Jose Rivera, and we are at the barn of She's So Spicy and Bentonato, 2 big winners today. Well done to them and their family, who is the team right here. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show. I just absolutely love his energy, and our theme has been a lot of how it matters, right? I mean, energy matters, vibes matter, how we approach the horse matters, how we treat the horse. And I found that every barn I was in, I was surrounded by people that love their horses. And I think people are surprised about that in the racing world. They think it's different, and it's not. You see a lot of love and dedication and focus and good energy and how much they care about those horses. taking them out at 3 a.m. in the morning to graze a little bit and hang out with them. It's pretty special to see. It was an exciting weekend. We're going to share, if you're watching, a little bit about some of the horses that we saw, some of the scenes that we saw, and some of the people that we were there with. So a little bit of galloping in the morning. We got to see them both on the dirt and on the turf. It was nice to see kind of the top horses in the world out training, and just being able to be in the barn with them. I think that's Intricate Spirits stall there, the one that Jenna rode here in Ocala. Just some scenes from the track as the horses are coming out. It's just very exciting. The atmosphere is very exciting. There's a real camaraderie between everybody that's, working together to make sure everybody stays safe. From the starting gate, really, right the way through to the end of the second day on Saturday. And just being there and seeing, we focus obviously on the Florida Ocala area connection. Seeing Lenny Lou out there was great. She's small but mighty, the little grey that ran at Royal Ascot that was bred in Williston at the Barbizon's farm. Seeing her there at the Breeders' Cup, she didn't win, but it's a kind of a win just to make it to the Breeders' Cup World Championships. They're win and you're in races, so you really have to have achieved major things to be there. And it was nice because Tom DeCillo and his wife Laurie for Piranha Animal Health were there. A friend of theirs had Argos in one of the races, David Romanik, who we got to meet, and it was just nice to sit with Tom and Laurie DeCillo and visit with them and get them, their first Breeders' Cup. Having a friend of theirs horse in the race was pretty cool. It was pretty nice, exciting time. Betsy got to chat to Bob Baffert, talking quarter horses. They talked a bit about D. Wayne Lucas. They even talked about Bob's first ever win as a jockey. And we just had a great time just talking to a variety of different people who all extremely passionate.
Betsy
about
making friends? No.
Yes. And even Whiter Barrio's groom, I think on Facebook, I caught him kissing Whiter Barrio right before this. I did. He was just kissing him on the face. And I just thought, and actually Whiter Barrio has a goat that lives in his stall with him, his best friend. It's it's quite different than what you think. And we got to visit with Fierceness, Sierra Leone, who were both trained here in Ocala, both had their start right here in Ocala. Visited with Express Train. I was told by John Sheriffs if I gave Beza a carrot, I had to give Express Train an apple and not lose my hand, which I didn't. Got to visit with Beza. I got to visit with Skilla also, who won the Distaff this weekend. Just got to stop in and see all the horses, and that's Fierceness, looking for a snack. And also got to meet Bob Baffert's dog. His wife Jill came over with Winnie, and Winnie was meeting with Nysos, who won the juvenile. That will be the horse that probably wins the Kentucky Derby. And Winnie was visiting, and the owners, who are the Tanma Corporation, I think fed a whole bag of carrots to Nysos, but I would probably do that too if my horse won a Breeders' Cup World Championship race. So congrats to all the connections, especially our local Ocala Marion County folks. We'll be back after this with the last segment for this week for the Horse Talk Show. Stay with us.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars, and we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.
It's time to fight back against summer sores with K-Well's Red Repel, healing and soothing, a lava-slaying ointment of justice, powered by zinc and nature's sass. Safe for all horses, even drama queens, gentle enough for the face. Your horse deserves skincare too, long-lasting and non-toxic. A bonus, buy a copper curry brush or Red Repel and receive a free in-store K-Well sample of your choice in Ocala at Seminole Feed Stores, TD Distributors and OBS. Discover more at kwellusa.com. K-Well, strength by nature.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934, manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
DAC Vitamins and Minerals has been making a world of difference for 35 years. Do you know what sets DAC apart? We use chelation minerals from Alltech, which allows for better absorption. DAC is the only supplement company Alltech provides ingredients for. We have our nutritionist, Performance Horse Nutrition, NASP, which is the quality seal, which guarantees our products and ensures our use of quality ingredients. DAC gives you a guaranteed analysis in every 1 ounce scoop, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Doesn't your partner deserve the best? Visit feeddac.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hello, I'm Chris Cox, and you're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet.
Your hometown Chevy experience.
Thank you to Larson Vimes, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we're going to kick it off with Dancing Pete Rhoda's Tip of the Week.
Whoop, whoop.
Dancing Pete's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Complimentary Horsemanship.
Today's tip of the week is energy. So how many times do you approach your horse with too much energy, or you ask your horse to do something with very little energy? So I always tell people to first turn off your energy. I tell them to bounce the ball the amount of energy you think you're projecting. Go ahead, Louisa. Bounce your ball the amount of energy you think you're projecting.
Right now, no.
It would be way over your head, right?
Of course, right now,
Okay,
yeah.
so now let's slow it down and push it into the ground. And that's the neutral energy that we should have when we're around our horse, unless we're asking them to do something.
That's right.
And then we should usually just bounce our ball a little bit. Because what most people do is they're got this high energy, and then they ask their horse to do something. Why is he cantering? And I'm like, because you asked him to canter with the energy you're putting.
That's right.
Or why isn't he going? Well, because you're always yelling with your energy, so that's what he sees. So controlling your energy, first turning it off.
Mm-hmm.
Then being able to use it just slightly, and then that way I can just up it a little bit, and there's the trot, up a little bit more, and there's the canter, up a little bit more, and we got a gallop, where most people are like, I can't get him out of the trot, because he's ignoring you. So
That's
it's your energy is very important.
It really is. And my multitasking, multi-careered brain sometimes has to just, I have to find the off button so that I can walk into the corral. Flynn is currently trapped in a corral because he has a fractured hock. So when I am walking from my front door, it's not a huge distance, but when I am walking from my front door to the corral, I am shutting myself completely. All my multitasking, busy brain stuff, I'm clearing out of my head so that when I get there and go in and visit with him, or whatever I'm going to do, whether it's brushing him or taking him a carrot or hanging out with him for a little while, I am switching everything off so that when I get in there, I'm not having busy brain going all over the place, and I'm trying to be relaxed and calm. And he comes over and drops his head and puts his head in my, well, you know, he follows me around like a big dog. It's
right.
It's a thing. He just follows me around like a big dog. Wherever I go, he's right there. And I know I'm different than when I was just in the house with busy brain, but I actually, I actually physically make myself, mentally and physically make myself shut off in that little short walk out the front door, out to him, because I know if I don't, I'm going to be all over the place. And then I just focus on him and I only think about him and what I'm doing with him, whether it's taking my amazing copper curry comb that I am going to give Linda a K-Well, one of those. I need to bring her that and the dog shampoo over. I'm going in there just to brush him or visit with him or whatever, or pick his million Larson Hay poops out there, which is 1 hour and 15
still?
minutes, about that, yeah.
Okay.
Kylie can actually attest to that, as she stayed at my house while I was away, and she can attest to the regularity of a well-fed horse on Larson Hay. Yeah. But when I'm on my way out there, it's just important to know what you're focused on and not to have your mind in a million other places, because you'd be surprised, especially if you know you have a super busy day and a lot in your head. You may be already gearing up to that, and your horse knows if you're not focused on him and you're all over the place. They sense all of that. John Sheriffs said it in his interview earlier. Linda Pirelli talked about it. It's so important.
And you're talking about I'm talking about energy, and you're talking about energy with focus.
Mm-hmm.
And mental focus is also not just physical focus.
That's so true. And I've really been much more aware of that in the last few weeks and thought about it a lot more and paid more attention to it, especially with him being cooped up in a small confined area. Is he has a different life than he had when he was turned out running around in a field. And so I tried to think about that too, like he's a lot more bored. You know, he's looking for acorns. I'm out there trying to get acorns so he doesn't eat them, you know, and I know he's a lot more bored, so I'm trying to find ways to be interesting in a non-active manner because he can't run around. Right. So that's difficult. That's a challenge by itself.
Yes, ma'am.
4-legged challenges. If you have a horse, you have at least one dog. So here's Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch. He's got a tip for you too. The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Neil Hennessy, the owner of Ocala Dog Ranch. In the winter, think about giving your dog a sweater, especially if they're one of these short-haired dogs with no fur. Keep an eye on their paws. Make sure that they don't need to be moisturized because of the dry air that dries up their pads and can lead to foot complications later on down the road. If the dog is left on the porch or left outside, give them a safe, warm place to get away from the cold weather. Bring your dog in at night if they like to be coming at night. Some of the guardian dogs love the cold weather and they're happy to stay out all night long. But just keep an eye on your dog. If it's too cold for you, it's probably too cold for them. And just take care of your dog. After all, we do love them. They're our best friends.
Shout out to Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch. Looked after Lucy for me this past weekend while I was gone. Thank you so much, Neil. Well done. Ocala Dog Ranch offers boarding, training, all sorts of dog sports. What else, Pete?
Dock diving.
Dock diving. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch. They're out there by Live Oak. Stud, off Highway 40, and anything you need for your dog, they have it. And great care. Thank you so much, because my dog has a torn ACL, also right rear, like Flynn's Hawk. Don't know why. Has to be both of them at the same time. But a lot of extra care, red lighting and walking on the leash and all of that. And I'm so thankful to Neil and his team that they were able to look after Lucy for me. So thank you. And we have some event mentions. Piranha Family Foundation Golf Tournament is just around the corner.
Whoop, whoop.
November 14th at the Country Club of Ocala. Piranha Animal Health is in their 4th year of this golf tournament. And if you didn't get involved this year, please get involved next year, either with a team or a sponsorship, because they have raised over $100,000 for gentle carousel miniature therapy horses and canines for warriors. All the funds from this goes to those wonderful 501c3s. And the gala in the evening is phenomenal. They just
dancing.
With dancing. Oh, you know, we didn't get the video up of you and Linda Pirelli dancing. I can't believe we missed that.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. I was going to say, you know, that's something for the next show.
Next show.
Yeah, Les Isaac can find it. Couple of other event mentions coming up that are important for you to have on your calendar. We absolutely love the Thoroughbred Transformation Expo at the Florida Horse Park. That is December 12th to the 14th. They have $25,000 in prize money and awards. And this is such a great way to showcase the versatility of the thoroughbreds that we love and all the sports that they can do if they're not racing or after their racing career. So check out that December 12th to the 14th. Happy days. We're coming right up on the Stirrups and Strides annual fundraiser, Sock Hop. They have some sponsorships available if you would like to help out the Therapeutic Riding Center. That is Stirrups and Strides. Check them out online. Their event is always great fun. They do a silent auction, raffle prizes. It's good times. They're located in Citra. They do phenomenal work, the therapeutic riding for disabled folks of all ages and for veterans.
It'll be December 6th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Mary Smith
Sue Rich
Community
Center.
Center. Whoa, that's a mouthful.
That's a mouthful. That's a lot. Yes. And on the calendar now for February 20th, the Children's Charity Classic. This is to benefit United Way. It is at the Horse Shows in the Sun Hits facility in the northwest side of Ocala. Get this one on your calendar. This is so much fun. They have such a great time doing this last year. It was such a wonderful fundraiser for so many charities. So that's the Children's Charity Classic, Friday, February 20th at HITS. We got to wrap it up. I want to thank Linda Pirelli so much for coming in and being with us this evening. It was wonderful to have her on the show. There's her and Pete dancing. Look at that. That's so good, right? Dancing Pete Rhoda. Woo-hoo. We got to go. Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world,
or not.
Happy horsing around. Till the same time next week.
See ya.